Hello, and thank you so much for joining me for Time Together with Upsychelly. My name is Mary, and today what we're doing is we are live streaming directly to YouTube. So I do want to ask you, if you are on YouTube and you're watching, please hit the subscribe channel or button. So this week, what we've been doing is we've been going over clay and how to make clay. So I have a ton of other videos on how to make clay already. Um, so if you take a look at the previous days, then you'll see those. I did use ingredients for this, and I was actually planning on flipping things up on the screen for you, but for some reason I'm having problems with the streaming software that I was using previously, so I don't have that up. But I can go on ahead and put the clay ingredients into the chat. And what I used for my ingredients were flour, water, oil, and a little bit of lemon juice. You can use vinegar, your choice. Vinegar kind of smells it, so I don't like using it. But that is the list. So I'm putting that into the chat right now. And today is Thankful Thursday. So I'm going to go ahead and put Thankful Thursday in our chat. And I'm going to go ahead and show you our mold. So today is Thankful Thursday. I like to have at least a day in the week, if not every single day, where I stop and I just think of, where I have been, where I want to go, and just be really grateful for where I am right now, because I do have a lot of goals that I've set for myself, and I do have where I am a lot further along this year than I was last year in what I'm learning or what I'm trying to do. Like this time last year, I wasn't presenting my crafts for Upsychelly with anybody yet. So, and now I am. So to me, that's progress. So thank you for joining me. And today we're just going over how to put our clay into molds. So I have our clay, and if you remember, one of the ingredients that I put in here is lemon juice, and that's just so that it doesn't turn moldy. If you look on one of our previous videos, including yesterday, I have where one of the flowers had turned moldy. I probably could grab that for you later. So I'm gonna just kind of work this piece. I had this in the fridge, so it's a little not as pliable. It's hard to get it to smush into shape, so I do have to take some effort. So right now I'm just gonna keep on, pressing this to warm it up. Here, I'm gonna use that one hand for that, and then here I already have a little bit of oil put into this mold that I'm going to be using. And what the oil does is it makes things slippery so that they don't get stuck. And I usually don't use too much of the mold. I usually will just use like the inner 3 rings. It never hurts to add a 4th one. Now, I do have to say that my flowers have been coming out very nicely from this mold without oil. And so this is going to be something new that I'm trying. Now this mold is easy to get things out of because it's very flexible. If you see, like, it bends and you can kind of push things out. Other molds are not that easy to work with. So very grateful for this mold. And it just makes the prettiest flowers. So get a little bit more oil. And it doesn't have to be a lot of oil. Like, it doesn't have to be super shiny or anything. You just want to get all the surface, the coated that where flour could end up. So, or where your clay would end up. And remember, I did not use this for my previous flowers, and they came out just fine. I like waiting for my clay to dry completely, and that makes it a lot easier to remove as well, because then it shrinks in there. All right, so we've got all of that coated. And while I've been doing that, I've been kind of sort of mushing this in my hand. And if you remember, if we make this too thick, it will actually take way too long to dry. I'm impatient. And what I am going to do is I'm going to just experiment with it. When I took them out this time, they look a little like dry to me. I don't know if it's just me, but they look a little like crackly dry. Now, it just may be my eye because I do have these others, but the difference is that I painted these. So maybe the paint made it look smoother than it really is. Do you see how smooth that looks? It's not as porous as this. Yeah, someday I'll get better at focusing. There we go. All right, let me get in. I think you could see how porous it is in here. Anywho, that's one of them. So what I'm going to do is take a look. And again, any imperfections or any messiness or anything that I have going on, I'm not going to worry about because I'm painting these and they are not expected to be perfect. So I'm going to go on ahead and put my first flower in, press, press, press. And I'm going to press it and then I'm going to show it to you. Like bring it right back out and see if it don't make a mess. And that is what a perfect flower looks like. So let's see if we can get it back in there just the way I had it. I doubt it. There we go. All right. And I can kind of feel the backs. Kinda. I'm trying not to put too much clay. And I'm also trying to get different effects every time that I do get clay. So you see that first one that we have in there? It doesn't really have too much cracking going on in the back of it. And that should cure nicely. And all I'm doing right now is I'm just continuing to roll this up into a ball in my hands. Just kind of trying to get it to warm up, get pliable, get really easy to press into the mold. And it looks like we're going to have time for just 2 of these. So I'm going to try to get this one real good. How can we? May have folded it over one too many times. We'll see. If when you go to put it down, it's already starting to crack, you may want to, kind of keep pressing it just a little bit to kind of get it to soften, be easier, more pliable, easier to form into something. All right. What do you think? Good? Let's try it. Now these, I am going to, like the last ones that I made them a little thick. I wanted to make sure that they wouldn't break. So I kind of made them really, really thick. Maybe you can tell. These definitely I'd have to work at breaking them. This one is very thin, very, very thin. So I could break this very easily. So the difference between the two of these, you see, I'm trying to get somewhere in between. So that is how you mold it. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to get plastic, like a saran wrap or something, and put it on here to, have this dry just a little bit longer, take a little bit longer to dry. Usually the longer it takes for things, like clay to dry, it makes them a little bit stronger and they're less likely to crack and so many things. So this was us today working with a little bit more clay. This is us just putting it into a mold, and all we needed to do was, just get it a little bit more pliable in our hands. And how we did that, we just kept, squeezing it and turning it in our hands. And finished products that you can get with your own clay once you paint them are, like rosebud here, or flower, or even these pretty ones that is what these are going to come out to be. So again, it is Thankful Thursday, and we're just very thankful that we're able to present a little bit of time together with Upsychelly, show you a couple of crafts that you're able to make at home. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop us a direct message. If you want, please leave a comment, like this video, subscribe to Upsychelly. Thank you.